While no two ECAM procedures are alike, let's take one final look at an example. In this case, it will be a level 1 engine 2 fire. I will again act as the pilot monitoring, dealing with this failure, but this does require the pilot flying to have a bit more interaction throughout the ECAM procedure, as you will see. Master warning, engine 2 fire.
ECAM actions.
Engine 2 fire, land ASAP red. Failure verified. Thrust lever 2 idle.
Confirm thrust lever 2.
Confirm. Engine master 2 off. Confirm number 2.
Confirm.
Off. Engine 2 fire push button. Push. Confirm number 2.
Confirm.
Push. Agent 1 after 10 seconds, discharge. Agent 1, discharge. Fire, Agent 1, discharge. Fires out, engine secure. We make this announcement to the pilot flying that the engine is secure at this time, since the fire is out, because the pilot flying will then at this point be allowed to stop ECAM without impacting safety if he or she requires our actions on anything flying, communicating, or navigation related. If otherwise, we will just continue. I know here that the engine is secure and the fire is out because the fire light up here extinguished, as well as the fire light on the engine control panel here, which is again a non-processed signal, which has extinguished. I will continue the ECAM actions. Engine 2 shutdown, land ASAP amber. Engine mode selector, ignition. Ignition. If no fuel leak, imbalance monitor. We will bring up the fuel page manually here. I will note down the values on the right side where the failure has happened to ensure we don't have any damage to the wing tank that allows us to lose fuel before considering cross feeding. We will come back to look at these values in 5 to 10 minutes before we attempt any imbalance or cross feeding. TCAS, TA. TCAS mode selector, TA. Avoid icing conditions. Clear engine 2.
Clear engine 2.
Land ASAP amber. Secondary failures. Bleed, hydraulic, electrical. On the bleed page, I see we have lost engine bleed number 2 and pack number 2, but the bleed system is provided through bleed from engine 1 and pack number 1. Clear bleed.
Clear bleed.
Electrical. We have lost generator number 2, but generator number 1 is supplying AC bus 1 and AC bus 2. However, the galley has been shedded. We should consider starting the APU to take the load off generator number 1 and supply redundancy.
I agree.
Clear electrical.
Clear electrical.
Hydraulics. We've lost engine-driven pump on the right side, number 2. The yellow system is pressurized using the PTU. Clear hydraulics.
Clear hydraulics.
Status.
Stop ECAM.
No normal checklist. No computer resets.
Read status.
Status. Avoid icing conditions. If severe ice accretion, minimum speed VLS plus 10, green dot speed. Maneuver with care. Landing distance procedure apply. We will apply this after the status. CAT 3 single only. Inoperative systems, wing anti-icing, CAT 3 dual, engine 2 bleed, pack 2, main galley, generator 2, and yellow engine driven pump. Remove status.
Remove status.
ECAM actions complete. And that is how failures are managed in the Airbus aircraft This philosophy extends to all Airbus type of aircraft, although with the newer generation aircraft such as the 350 and the 380, the displays and the controls have been enlarged, so might deviate slightly. As for the 320 family, this is exactly the procedure you will apply to any failure. I hope this presentation and lesson was useful to you because it should be laying the foundation for your failure management on this aircraft.